Chris told me a lot of jokes about unemployed people yesterday.
Oh, were they funny?
No, they didn't really work. So this lesson, we will be starting our cheat sheet with our first data that I think is something that you have to know and might forget. But first, let's look at our website again. We have this one line with a bold and underline tag. Let's just remove the underlines so that we only have one tag. Okay, so it's important to know that this line right here, this bit, is called a tag, like I said in the previous video. But both tags together, including the substance in between them, is called an element. So this whole thing over here will be a bold element, and this whole thing will be an HTML element. Right, so let's go and start our cheat sheet or our lookup sheet. So let's open a new text document like so. So let's right click, new text document, and we call it HTML cheat sheet number 1, and then delete the text.html. We can right click and open with Notepad. So now it's basically an empty website. So let's give it a heading, and we will make the heading the same as what we saved it as, HTML cheat sheet number 1. And the reason I make it number 1 is because when this gets bigger, you have to scroll down every time to see the information at the bottom. And when you add something and you save, every time you save, the browser opens it up at the top. So to see what you have saved, you always have to scroll down again. So when it's just a little bit past the bottom, I usually make a new one. But you can do it any way you want, but make sure you pick the right decision, because it can take up to 10 seconds of your life if you want to change it. Because you know, it's as they say, a leopard can't change its spots.
That's beautiful. What does it mean?
Well, it just means that the plastic surgery industry in the animal kingdom is not as well developed as it is for us humans. But in this case, it means that once you have made a decision, it can cost you up to 10 seconds of your life to change that decision. So immediately we're going to learn another HTML tag. And this one is called the HR tag. Now HR stands for human resources, which is a good way to look at it, because HR makes sure that you toe the line. And HR in HTML means horizontal rule or line. HR is a line.
Toe the line, sucker.
So after our heading, we're gonna put a line like this, and let's go see what it looks like in our browser. We save it, Control Save. We just double click this, it will open in Firefox, and there you go. Here's our heading, HTML cheat sheet number 1, and with a line underneath it. See? I didn't lie. Now, under our line, let's write HTML terminology. And then we're gonna put another line, because this is gonna be a heading and I wanna put it between two horizontal lines. So let's save and refresh. There you go. HTML cheat sheet number 1 with HTML terminology in between two lines. Now as you can see, these lines run through the whole document, which I can tell you keeps me up for hours at night. But don't worry, as we learn new things, we are going to rein in these lines and make it look more aesthetic. But for now, just do what I do and drink some sleeping pills. Now, below the last line, we write Tutorial 4, the HTML code between and including corner brackets are called an HTML tag. And also, on the next line we write Tutorial 4, go away space, An opening and closing tag as well as the content between them are called an element. Now we have already learned the bold tag as well. So let's go and we put the main words in the above sentences in bold. So in this first sentence, the HTML tag will be our keyword. So we want to put this in bold. And in this one, element will be our keyword. So let's put this one in bold as well. It's just so that when you scan your document, you can just look for these bold words and you will immediately see what the whole sentence is about. So let's save it and refresh our browser. Did I save it now? I did. And there you go. HTML tag is in bold, element in bold with what we have written, and basically exactly what we wanted, apart from the fact that it's not at all what we wanted. We wanted these two lines to be on two separate lines. So we're gonna have a look at that in our next lesson. But if we look here again quickly, the reason I write tutorial 4 in front is if you want to learn more about what you have written down here, you know where it comes from. So it comes from this tutorial, tutorial 4. And we will go on like that as we build up our cheat sheet. Because there's nothing worse than knowing you heard it somewhere and you have to go look through 10 videos to find the right one, to just learn a bit more. Now the reason to learn these terms is because many times you may have a question or read something and someone will say, in your HTML file you should find the element just before your first object but after your last property, and then go to its opening tag and you will see that its second attribute value says huh. Now change huh to now I understand. So when you come across this, you will go, what is an attribute? What is an element? And an object or a property. And you can just go here to your file and look at HTML tag. Oh yes, that's what it is. And element contact. Oh wow, that's very interesting. I remember now. And so forth and so forth. And in about 5 lines of code, you will be up to date again. So there you go. We have a solid and easy to scan lookup sheet that we started. Now we can just add to it and continue learning without worrying we will forget everything as soon as the next video starts. Which also makes it the end of this video.